Morning, everybody. It's David. So it's a chilly morning here in Boston. I'm not sure where you are, but wherever it is, I hope that you're staying warm. Today, we're going to heat things up with a series of standing poses. We'll do some back bends in the middle and then some hip and hamstring openers toward the end. So if you will, go ahead and find your way to your seated position so we can start with some pranayama. And take as much time as you need to settle in. Let your hands rest on your lap in some comfortable way. Then close your eyes. Breathe normally. And for just a little bit, pay close attention to your breath. Just observe your inhales and your exhales. So if you're ever a bit anxious, taking fewer breaths can help you to calm your system down. So over the course of the next few moments, let your inhales and exhales be natural. Don't really try to alter them at all. But pay attention to that little pause at the end of your exhales and try to extend it. Just hold your breath out of your body until it becomes very slightly uncomfortable. Afterward, take a normal inhale and a normal exhale. Pause again until it becomes very slightly uncomfortable. And then repeat that breath cycle for the next few moments. Normal inhale and exhale, and with a breath retention at the end of the exhale. And every time you hold out, just let your mind and body relax. You're, of course, welcome to maintain that. Though, if you can hold your breath out a little longer, go for it. Hold your breath out until it becomes a bit more uncomfortable. The discomfort is raising carbon dioxide levels, not lowering of oxygen. So just try to relax as much as you can. Let your mind settle. After a little while, that shift in your body's chemistry will continue to help you calm down. Once again, maintain there, or hold your breath out longer until it actually becomes uncomfortable. Take a normal inhale and a normal exhale after that. Hold for as long as you can out at the end of the exhale, and just repeat over and over again. A few more rounds of those. And then return to normal breathing patterns. Just take a few moments to once again observe your breath. And then join your hands together in a prayer at your chest. Bring to mind someone you would like to dedicate today's practice to. And send your person some good energy mentally. All right, then when you're ready, open your eyes and step back to the cat-cow Kriya position. Your four-pointed kneeling stance with your shoulders right above your wrists. For the next few moments, just warm up your spine with some rounding and some arching. You know the drill. Typically, you round with your exhales and arch with your inhales. But today, as most days, I think it's really good to get creative about this posture because you can reveal a lot of tension throughout your body. So just move around in any way, shape, or form that feels good for you. And breathe as deeply as you can as you continue to move. Not altogether necessary to coordinate everything with your breath. So if that doesn't happen, that's okay. And just try to keep your breath rolling deep. Pay attention to what feels nice, and just try to do some more of that for a while. And then curl your toes under behind you. Lift your hips up into the air for the down dog. Straighten your arms as much as you can. Press your chest toward your legs, and then pedal. Bend one leg and straighten the other one, and alternate back and forth. No biggie if your heels don't come anywhere near touching the floor. As long as you're feeling stretch in your calves and your hamstrings, you're good. And to warm up your hamstrings a little more directly, take a look forward and step your right foot all the way up to your thumbs. Take your back knee down to the ground. Place your hands on the floor just inside of your foot, and then let your hips sink down toward the floor beneath you there. For the next few moments, just try to keep your right knee centered right above your right ankle, and drop your hips down until you feel stretch across the whole back of your right leg there. And stretch back through your left tip toes all at the same time. And then plant your hands on the floor beneath you. Step all the way back to the downward facing dog. And the same one on the other side. When you're ready, step your left foot all the way forward. Take your back knee down to the ground. Let's make sure that your knee is right above the ankle. And stack your hands on the floor inside of your foot. Maybe lift your buttocks up just a little bit to take off the tension from your hamstrings. And then drop your hips down again. Still getting warmed up in your hip flexors and hamstrings, so don't worry about going crazy deep. Just sink until it feels good. If you start to get a little too much stretch, just lift your hips a little higher and adjust accordingly until you get just enough. And now lift your hips all the way up and back. Move back to the four-pointed kneeling stance. And then this time, get a twist. Thread the needle by sweeping your right arm through your center line. Take your shoulder all the way down to the floor, as well as the side of your head. Just take the next few moments for gravity to rotate your spine. Press down to come back up. And then switch it all the way over for the same posture on the other side. Deep breaths while you're there. And then press down to come all the way back up. Once you've done so, shift to the high plank position. You can take your knees to the floor if you find it helpful, or you can leave them up. But either way, squeeze your elbows tight into your sides, lower with an exhale, and then roll over your toes for the up dog. Knees can be down like mine or up if you prefer. And then a down dog stretch with your exhale. One more round of pedaling to loosen up your hamstrings and calves. All right, so take a look forward and then step or hop to the front of your mat. Come all the way up and onto your fingertips. And take a forward fold from there. Use your inhale to sweep all the way up to standing. And then join your hands at your chest with your exhale. Surya Namaskar. Inhale to sweep your arms out and up. Exhale, then fold forward. Lift to your fingers on the inhale. Chaturanga push-ups with your exhale. The up dog with an inhale. The down dog with an exhale. And some deep breaths while you're there. This pose is supposed to be a resting posture, so just relax a little bit, work as little as possible, and fill your lungs with your breath. And again, look forward, step or jump up near the front of your mat. Come up to your fingers with your inhale. Hold another time with your exhale. Use your inhale to sweep all the way upwards. Join your hands at your chest with your exhale. Inhale and sweep your arms up. Fold forward as you breathe out. Lift to your fingers on the inhale. Chaturanga push-up with your exhale. The up dog with an inhale. The down dog stretch with your exhale. And another round of those very deep breaths. All right, for today, take a look forward. For Warrior 2, step your right foot all the way forward to your hands. Turn your back heel down to the ground, and then use an inhale to come up so that your torso faces sideways and both arms extend out to your sides. Once you've done that, bend your front leg until you get some burn in your thigh. Look dramatically out over your right fingertips and keep breathing deeply. With your arms still extended outward, straighten your leg. Turn your feet off to face the edge of your mat. Repeat Warrior 2 with your left foot facing the back. Bend your leg substantially and gaze out over the tips of your left fingertips this time. Deep, slow breaths. Straighten out your left leg all the way and turn your feet to face the side of your mat. With your arms still extended outwards, spin your right toes forward and come back to Warrior 2. This time around, reach down with your right hand to grab your right inner ankle. Use your arm to press your knee sideways. And just rotate your left arm up to the ceiling. Gaze out toward your outstretched hand for a little bit. At the same time, press your left heel down to elongate your back leg. Use your inhale to come all the way back up to the top for Warrior 2. Straighten your leg, turn your feet to face the edge. Spin your left toes back. Bend that leg substantially. And reach down there with your left hand. Make sure you grab the innermost ankle. Use your shoulder to press your knee sideways. As you rotate, just reach your right arm straight upward in the air. It doesn't feel good to look up. Look sideways or down. Use an inhale to come all the way back up for Warrior 2. Straighten out your leg entirely and turn your feet to face sideways. And then one more time, spin your right toes forward toward the front of your mat. Bend your leg substantially. With your right hand facing upwards, reverse the Warrior for a side bend. Reach strongly through the fingertips of your right hand. Now use your next inhale. Come back to Warrior 2. Straighten your leg and turn your feet to face the edge of your mat. Warrior 2 facing the back. Turn your left hand up to the ceiling. Reverse the Warrior again. Just slide your right hand down your leg. Reach your left arm over your ear and see if you can put the stretch in your side again. Press down to your right heel too so that your back leg stays long. And then for now, inhale back up to Warrior 2. Straighten out your leg entirely and turn your feet to face sideways. And then take a really huge step to get back to the front of your mat. Next time you breathe in, sweep your arms all the way up. Bend your legs with an exhale for the chair posture. If you like, you can keep your hands apart like I am. You can also take your hands together if you prefer. Drop down and back like you're going to sit on a chair. And just keep breathing as deeply as you can while there. A little deeper into the chair if you're able. And then forward fold to bail out of that one. Lift to your fingers on the inhale. Chaturanga push-up with your exhale. The up dog with an inhale. And a down dog with your exhale. Drive out through your hands, and this time press your heels just a little bit closer to the ground. So this time, some other things on your left side. Step your left foot all the way forward. Turn your back heel down to the ground beneath. Use an inhale to come up to warrior one, arms outwards and upwards. Just like the chair, arms can be apart, or hands can come together. Extend your arms up toward vertical, bend your front leg substantially, and press back to the heel of your rearmost foot. Straighten out your left leg and turn your feet to face the long edge of your mat. Rotate your right foot backwards. Square your hips with the rear of the mat itself. Once your leg is bent, extend your arms all the way up to full vertical and gaze up towards your hands. Again, lots and lots of breath. Straighten your leg, turn your feet to face the edge, and with your arms extended outwards, take a huge and big step to get back to the front of your mat. Our figure four stretch. Bend your legs. Once you've done so, cross your right ankle over your left leg. Bend your supportive legs substantially so you have a shelf to rest your ankle on. Reach your arms all the way out to your sides. Feel free to stay up there. Or if you want more stretch, lean forward just a little bit at a time until you get some more opening in your hip. Like any balance ever, just try to keep your eyes locked on something solid on the floor. Now use your inhale to come up and out of there. Draw your knee high to your chest. Drop your foot and join your hands together at your heart. Then the figure four on the other side. And take your hands to your waist initially. Cross your left ankle all the way over. Make sure you bend on that supporting standing leg. Reach your arms completely out to your sides. And give yourself the slow forward lean just a little bit at a time. Once you find a spot where you're getting enough stretch, just keep breathing into it. All right, now use an inhale to sweep all the way upwards. Draw your knee really high to the chest. Drop your foot and join your hands together in a prayer at your heart. Now today, heel toe your feet further apart until they're about match width wide. Turn your toes very slightly out to the sides. And then come down to a deep squatting posture with your bum near your heels. You can keep your hips higher with hands forward if that helps you. Otherwise, drop all the way down to the full deep squat. Use your elbows to press your knees a little further to your sideways. With your hands joined together in a prayer, slide your hands down toward your belly and lift upwards to the walls of your chest. Kind of like Donald Duck, roll your tailbone backward and upward. Keep sliding your hands down to elevate upwards to your chest. Now it would be a shame if we were so close to the crow and we didn't do it, so we'll give it a shot. If you're not into it, keep going with the squat. Otherwise, keep your arms fixed against your legs and plant your hands on the floor. You want your middle fingers forward and your hands about shoulder distance. Now today, rock just a little bit of weight forward under the balls of your feet and put some weight in your hands. If you want to go further, lean a little further ahead. And if it works for you, lift one of your feet, both of them completely off of the ground, and just hover there for a little bit. And take your feet all the way back down to the floor. Once you've done so, step back to the high plank position. Lower down through chaturanga. The up dog with an inhale. The down dog stretch with your exhale. All right, step your right foot forward. Walk your hands across the floor to face the long edge of your mat. With straight legs, turn your big toes in and come up to your fingertips. Now this time, take your right hand to your left heel. Twist left and reach your left arm straight upward into the air. And for the next few moments, just keep breathing deep while there. Windmill your hands all the way down to the earth. Come up to your fingertips. And then from there, walk your left hand over to your right foot. Twist and reach your right arm straight up. Try to keep your leg as straight as you possibly can as you spin. And then take both your hands back down to the floor. Turn your toes out. Bend your knees, sort of round your spine so that your head hangs down near-ish the floor, and crisscross your arms down near the earth as well. Now stand up with an inhale. Straighten your legs, reach your arms outwards and up. Bend and cross with your exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale up to the horse, both arms up. Take your hands to your knees, lean forward. Try to parallel your chest with the floor. Press your knees apart and rotate your chest to your right. Rotate and twist your whole spine. Use your next inhale to square with the floor, and then switch for the same posture on the other side over there. Square your chest with the ground, crisscross your arms beneath. Stand up with an inhale, straightening your legs and reaching your arms to the ceiling. Take a really big step to get back to the front of your mat. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift to your fingers. Exhale, chaturanga push-up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. All right, so step your left foot all the way forward. Grab your toes on the left foot and turn them out to the sides. Now, for the moment, walk your hands even further over to your left so that they sort of rest near the side of your mat, and spin onto the blade edge of your back foot. Now, this one's pretty intense, so you might have to stay there. If you want to go further, roll onto the blade edge of your front foot as well. Walk your hands a little further over to your left. Once your legs are crisscrossed like a really weird, funky X, try to straighten out your legs as much as you can to deepen the stretch. It takes a while to straighten your legs all the way, so it's absolutely okay if you have to keep your right leg a bit bent. Now this has every possibility of turning into a colossal train wreck, but we're going to try to 360 into the same pose on the other side. So bend your left leg, walk your hands around so that your fingertips are near the front of your mat, and spin your left toes forward and your back heel up. Now keep walking your hands to the right, turn your feet to face the long edge of the mat, the right side. Keep walking your hands around to face the back of the mat, spin your right toes toward the back of the mat itself, your back heel up to the ceiling. Now with your front leg bent, grab your right foot and turn your toes out. Walk your hands slowly across the floor to your right until they rest near the long edge of your mat, and try to flip onto the blade edge of your foot again. Flip onto the blade edge of your front foot as well, and either straighten that leg a little bit, or walk your hands even further over to the sides, and just work toward full elongation of that leg. It gives you a huge and deep stretch. If it's too much, just bend your leg a little bit more, and keep breathing deeply as you hold. All right, bend your right leg, walk your hands around toward the back of your mat. To exit the posture, just spin your feet around to face the other side of the room. Turn your big toes in and come to your fingertips. Hands to your waist from there. And then stand all the way up and pause at vertical. Reach both your arms completely out to your sides. And take a big step to get back to the front of your mat. Once you're there, just close your eyes for the next few moments and redirect all of your focus to your breath. Right, then open your eyes. Take your hands to your hips and draw your left knee all the way up to your chest. Either grab your knee or the big toe if you can reach it. Got your big toe, stand tall. Slowly extend your foot all the way forward and just hover there for now. Let go of the leg. You can keep it bent or straight and try to keep your eyes locked on something solid. And then take your foot all the way back down to the floor beneath. Once you've done so, draw your other knee up to your chest. The option, just like before, is to grab your knee or your big toe. If you do indeed have the big toe, come to vertical with your chest. Extend the leg all the way forward to the front and keep breathing again. I think this one's hard, so feel free to bend that knee if you need to. But let go of the foot, try to keep the leg hovering there for just a little. Take your foot all the way back down to the floor and join your hands together in a prayer at your chest. Use an inhale to sweep your arms up and forward fold as you exhale. Up to your fingers on the inhale. Chaturanga push-up with your exhale. And the up dog with an inhale. The down dog stretch with your exhale. All right, so step your right foot forward. Walk your hands further ahead. Step onto your right leg and lift the back one up. Spin the fingertips of your right fingers out to the side. Reach your left arm straight upward in the air for the half moon stretch. For the next few moments, just try to keep lifting your back leg rather high. Now place your hands on the floor and one foot all the way down next to the other. And come up to your fingertips. Move your hands to your waist. Stand all the way up. Once you've paused at the top, draw your right knee all the way up to your chest. Either grab your knee or your big toe. Take the knee up a little higher, then out to your right, and kick the leg all the way out to the side, holding there once again. And drop your foot all the way back down to the earth. Half moon on the other side. Inhale to sweep them upwards. Forward fold as you breathe out. Lift to your fingers. Chaturanga push-up. The up dog with your inhale. Down dog with your exhale. Step your left foot forward. Now walk your hands ahead. Take a moment to step onto your leg. I find it helpful to spin my left fingers out, so you might try that if the balance is a little shaky. From there, rotate your hip open to the edge. Reach your right arm directly up and keep breathing. So lift that back leg as high upwards as possible. And take both hands to the floor. Stack your right foot next to the left. Come up to your fingertips. Hands to your waist. And then stand all the way up, pausing in vertical once more. All right, final standing balance of this class. Draw your left knee up. Grab your knee or your big toe if you can get it. Start out with your legs swiveled out to your left. Slowly kick your foot out into your hand, or stay there with your legs still remaining bent. Replace your foot back down there on the floor and join your hands together in a prayer at your chest. Close your eyes and redirect your focus to your breath. All right, use an inhale to sweep your arms out and up. Forward fold with your exhale. Lift to your fingers, and then move back to the high push-up position. And drop your knees down to the floor. So when it comes to anything physical, there are get-to-do poses and there are have-to-do postures. And everything we've done so far are postures that we get to do. They're fun. These ones have to be done to protect your lower back after building a lot of flexibility. Now these, just do your best. But for the moment, tuck your ribs down in the front, so you're sort of compact in the middle. And then for the moment, lift your left leg straight out to the side and up so that your knee is at approximately pant pocket level. And then drop it back down, and on your own, just continue. If you'd like to coordinate with your breath, lift your leg out and up with your inhales, and drop it down with your exhales. The purpose of this one is to build strength in your outer hips. Just keep on going self-paced, breathing deeply throughout. Try to keep your ribs tucked down in the front the entire time. Now the next time you lift your leg out and up, tuck your ribs down, just try to hold there for a little bit. Keep breathing as you hold. Drop your knee all the way back down to the earth. Now, my ribs tend to poke out, so if that's the case with you. Tuck them down in the front again. And then when you're ready, lift your right leg out to the side and up. Use your exhales to take it down. Like before, continue self-paced and breathe deeply. Try to keep that rib locked the entire time as you continue to lift out and up. All right, y'all, one more time. Lift your leg out and up and tuck your ribs down and just try to keep that overall elevation with your leg. It's good if you're getting some burn in your outermost hip. And then let your hips come back down. When you're ready, roll backward to a seated position. Slide both legs all the way forward to the front. And then this time, just go ahead and roll all the way down to your back. Now we got to get the glutes from the back as well. It's especially important because our standing poses build some strength in the quadriceps. So walk your feet all the way together. And let your knees open to the sides like the pages of a magazine. Now bend your arms to 90 degrees so that your forearms are vertical and your elbows are hugged tight into your sides. Press your elbows down and squeeze your shoulder blades closer to your spine. Now you want a neutral neck in this one, so just look straight up. Use your inhales to lift your hips, squeeze your booty at the top, and then an exhale to come back down. Inhale, raise. Exhale, drop. Inhale, 8. Exhale. Inhale, 7, squeeze. Exhale. Inhale, 6. Exhale. Inhale, 5. Exhale. Inhale, 4. Exhale. Inhale, 3. Exhale. Inhale, 2. Exhale. Inhale, 1. Keep breathing and hold at the top. With your hips still off the floor, tuck your ribs down in the front and squeeze all the muscles in your butt. At the same time, just keep pressing your elbows down into the floor. All right, then come back down to the earth. Draw your knees together and just wave your knees from one side to the other side. Rotate your head from one side to the other side as well. Now it's good to open your thoracic spine, the middle section of your back. So reach your arms all the way out to your sides. Wrap your right knee over your left knee, like you were doing the eagle's pose, and then shift your hips over to the right. Drop your knees to the left-hand side of your mat. Just take the next few moments to open your chest and to twist your spine. It's a great preparation for a deeper back bend. Use your next inhale to sweep your knees back up. Center your hips with the midline of your mat. And then cross your left knee over right. Slide your hips way over to the left and drop your knees fully right to twist your spine. Get your T-spine from a slightly different angle. Swivel your knees back up. Center your hips with the midline of your mat. And reach your fingers forward and attempt to touch your middle fingers to your heels. You still want your legs bent. If you're not able to reach your heels, no big deal. Just get as close as possible. Bend your arms to 90 degrees. Hug your elbows into your sides. Press your elbows into the floor to squeeze your shoulders back. And then leading with your knees, stretch your knees forward and lift your hips as high as you can this time around. Use your knees, keep trying to slide forward. Let the bottom rim of your ribs poke up toward the ceiling for just a little more back bends, and keep breathing. Now, if you want to go further, plant your hands on either side of your head. Prepare for the wheel. Stay there on the floor and the bridge if you wish, or drive down through your hands and come up for the slightly deeper back bend. If you do this one, keep poking up to the base of your ribs as you hold. If you're in the wheel, maybe shake your head yes a couple times to loosen up your neck. And then all the way back down to the floor. Once you're there, wave your knees from one side to the other side, back and forth. All right, today, one more repetition of the bridge or the wheel. If you want to modify, do the bridge with me. Otherwise, as we did before, stick your hands on either side of your head for the wheel. Either way, lift your hips off the floor. Now either press your elbows into the ground or your hands to press up to the wheel. If you're in the bridge with me, just keep pressing your elbows into the floor to strengthen the space between your shoulder blades. And then all the way back down to the floor. Wave your knees and your head from one side to the other side. Reach both arms out to the edges of the class. Twist can also help relieve back tension. So draw your knees in. Drop them over to the right. Press them closer to the floor with your right hand. And for just a little bit, gaze left. And sweep your knees all the way back up and take them over for the same posture on the other side. Press your knees closer to the floor with your left hand and gaze right. All right, one more have to do posture to sort of reset everything in your core. Either touch your fingers to the sides of your head, or if you prefer, touch your fingertips behind your skull. Lift your feet off the floor so that your legs are bent to 90 degrees and your feet lifted, and then belly crunch up to the front and look forward for now. Now straighten out your left leg, dip your left elbow toward right underneath, and then alternate for some bicycles. Just keep working back and forth between your two separate sides. The entire time around, try to keep your shoulders lifted, and just use that to create some stability and strength in your core again. Keep breathing, and as you keep breathing, pedaling. Just a few more rounds of that. And that should do for the moment, so come all the way back down. All right, reclining pigeon pose. Cross your right ankle over your left leg. You want to modify, press your knee away from your chest with your right hand. Otherwise, reach your right arm through, grab your left leg. You recline back, squeeze your shoulders back in together, and press your right knee all the way out and away from your chest. Use that to anchor the stretch in your right hip. Slide your shoulders away from your ears toward your belt. And try to flatten the back of your pelvis on the ground, or at least move in that general direction. Release that one there. And then switch for the same posture on the other side. Left ankle crosses over. Either press your left knee away from your body with your left hand, or thread the needle with your left hand. Grab your right leg somewhere. Climb backward onto the mat. And slide your shoulders toward your hips to open up the walls of your chest. Like before, try to flatten the back of your pelvis on the ground if at all possible, and keep breathing. All right, now let go of your legs. Draw your right knee toward your chest. Grab your knee, or if you can reach, grab your big toe with your index and middle finger. Now you can keep the leg bent, or you can straighten the leg entirely upwards toward the roof, whichever works for you. Slide your left leg straight and place your left hand on your left thigh. Belly crunch up to the front. Pull back on the foot, and for the next few moments, just hover there with your chest and shoulders lifted. Lots and lots of breath. Bend your leg and take your hips all the way back down. Once you've done so, draw your other knee to your chest. You can definitely grab your knee or your big toe. Straighten your left leg as much as possible toward the ceiling. Extend your right leg forward. I want to give your hand something to do, so place your right hand on your thigh. Belly crunch up. Pull overhead and backward on the leg and just hover there for one more bout of abdominal strength. Recline backward onto the ground. And whenever you're ready, find your way to the corpse pose, flat out on your back on the floor. And take the next few moments to make any final adjustments necessary so that your body can be made comfortable and still. As always, if you like seated meditation better, that's always okay to do. Once you've shifted your body around or moved clothes about if necessary, scratch the any itches that need to be scratched, then just get heavy everywhere. And let your body return to stillness. So if you've been part of the workforce for any amount of time, I'm sure that you have attended or heard about a professional conference for people in your field. We yoga practitioners have them too. Now, there was one particular conference I really wanted to go to. They hired some of the best teachers around to teach at the place. Thousands of people went to the conference, and it was really the place to be. It was very competitive to get in, and I wasn't really having any success, but I noticed that the clothing company that was helping me out actually sponsored the conference. So I asked them if they could actually help me get in. And they were very kind. They talked to the organizers of the place. They let them know about me. And at some point, they actually let me teach there. Now, before going to teach at that particular conference, a number of my friends warned me. They said that one of the conference organizers was actually kind of rough on her students. They mentioned that sometimes she would pick a whipping person, and over the course of the class, she would make that person an example. I remember when my friends told me that, I laughed and I said, no big deal. I can totally handle it because I've been dealing with difficult people my entire life. And in that respect, I was totally wrong. She rode me hard when I got there. Now, I don't know if she was upset that I took back channels to get into the conference or something like that, but she really didn't like me, and I could tell it right off the bat. Now, I actually took one of her classes at some point, hoping to make amends, but it actually made matters worse. She forced me into positions, she berated me in front of other people, she actually stood on me at one point, and it was actually a pretty rough experience. It was totally embarrassing. Now, afterward, I just wanted to leave, but I couldn't. I was contracted to finish out, and people were expecting to take my classes, and I definitely wasn't going to let them down. So I decided to stick it out. Now, out of that actually came something really, really amazing. I realized that there was no possible way that I was ever going to be invited back. And even had I been invited back, I wouldn't have wanted to work for that person again. So, realizing that, I realized it would be my last time ever teaching at that particular event. And surprisingly enough, that actually kind of made it great. Every time I went outside to look at the beautiful atmosphere in the place that was hosting the event, all the mountains and the landscape looked way more beautiful because I knew that I probably wasn't going to be looking at them again. When I was hanging out with other people, sometimes our interactions were better than they might normally have been because I realized that it would probably be many years before I'd see them again, and perhaps I wouldn't have the opportunity to ever interact again. Now, I think the most marked improvement was in my teaching that day. If you're doing something for a long period of time, I'm sure that you've noticed that sometimes you fall into a peak flow state where everything works, and other times things don't go so smoothly. Now, that day, because I knew that it was the very last time I was ever going to be able to teach at that particular conference, I put everything into it. I came into the room, I appreciated that I was there, I really tried to pour my all into it, and it worked great. And all that day, all my jokes totally landed. The poignant parts of the class really, really hit. And though there were over 150 people in attendance, I actually felt like I made a slight connection with every single person there. At the end of the class, we had one of the best group hugs that I've ever had in my life with 150 people hugging. It was absolutely amazing. Now, since that point, I've tried to remember the same things when I run across something that I think would be really, really important to value. I try to treat it as though it were the last time I would ever do it. And by using that practice of the last time over and over again, I found that I've been able to make conversations with people that I love a lot better. If I go to a show and I really want to get into it and appreciate what I'm seeing, focusing on it as though I would never be able to see it again really, really helps. I don't know, that might just be me, but I think it's a pretty human thing. And oftentimes we get less value out of the things that we focus on simply because we're not present and aware. And sometimes one of the simplest ways to getting awareness back is to pretend in your mind that you're never going to be able to do it again. Well, something to think about and something you might want to try later on today to see if it works for you as well. And for now, we need to finish with some meditation. So if you will, just let everything get still and quiet. Let your breath return to natural rhythms, and then redirect all of your awareness to your eyes. And for the next few moments, just stay concentrated there. If your mind wanders, notice and redirect to your eyes. And shift awareness to your ears next. And as you focus there, let your thoughts come and go. It's okay for them to be there, just try not to interact. Shift focus to your nostrils and let your thoughts come and go. I like to pretend the mine are like clouds in the sky, just floating by. Focus on your cheeks, right and left. Upper lip and lower lip. upper teeth and lower teeth. Tip of your tongue. Center of your throat. Tips of your shoulders. Elbows. Wrists. Palms of your hands. Tips of your fingers. Shift awareness to your hips. Kneecaps. Ankles. Bottoms of your feet. Tips of your toes. Right and left side of your body. Back of your body. Navel. Center of your chest. Tips of your shoulders. Back of your neck. Center of your chest. And then send awareness from your heart out to the palms of your hands. From your heart to the bottoms of your feet. And from your heart center to the base of your spine, and again upward to the top of your head. And today, to deepen the meditative state that you've begun, shift awareness to your navel, your belly button. And then slide your awareness up the front of your body till you reach the center of your throat. The navel is the bottom of an important energy channel, and the center of your throat is the top of that same channel. Now you have to use your capacity to visualize, so just do your best. Know that it doesn't have to be perfect, but just under your skin, imagine a hollow crystal straw, like a straw from a soft drink, extending from your navel all the way up to the middle of your throat. Imagine that it's about the diameter of your thumb. It's a big straw, and that it's made of crystal as opposed to plastic. That just makes it a little prettier to contemplate. Now today we're going to attempt to put our breath into that particular straw. It's an imagination exercise that will help you deepen your breath and stimulate some energy there. So breathing through your nose, breathe out every last drop of air. Press your breath down to your belly button. Now as you inhale, imagine you could suck your inhale up the straw and drag it to the center of your throat, and breathing in as deeply as you can. As you exhale, press your breath back down the straw from center throat to your navel. Squeeze out every drop of air when you make it to the navel. And then repeat. Draw your huge breaths up the straw. After you fill and make it to your throat, send your huge exhales back down the straw. If it helps you to slow down your breaths, make it sound like Darth Vader. Constrict the back of your throat. And keep breathing up and down the straw. Continue on for about 1 more minute, and these should be the deepest breaths you can draw. Draw your inhales from belly button up to throat. And send your exhales from your throat back down to your navel. Whenever your next exhale happens, press out every last drop of your air. Take a few moments to stop breathing at the end. Imagine that crystal straw disappearing. Hold out for as long as is comfortable. Whenever you're ready to start breathing again, let your breath be shallow. There, whenever you feel ready, let yourself roll over to one side. With your eyes still closed, come back to a seated and cross-legged posture of some type. And then finally, join your hands together in a prayer at your chest. Remember the person you dedicated your practice to, to pray for or wish for their happiness and their Take a moment to be grateful for another day. If you wish, repeat after me. May all sentient beings everywhere experience peace.